お前の道はここで終わりだ。見せてその先の力というもの。ブリーチ、ブレイブソウルズ。
Alright, what is going on, you guys? This is your boy the Taskmaster, and welcome back to yet another Bleach Brave Souls video. And today we're finally going to be covering the top 10 heart characters. Now, it's been a while since I've actually last updated it, so quite good because there are a couple of new characters that I have yet to talk about that have not been added onto the list, specifically Bruno and Rengoku in this kind of case, as well as some good other characters. So it's a good update that we're going to be doing to the list. And we're just basically going to do it the same as always. Start from the honorable mentions and then work our way from the number 10 spot all the way to the number 1 spot. So with that being said and done, let us go ahead and begin. And as honorable mentions, Yuhabaha Masaki. It's crazy. Wow, oh my goodness, I already dethroned her. And then the new hard Ginjo. So let's just get started. Yuha, even though he is getting hard countered by Yamamoto in PvP, this is a character you still want to have just because of the fact that, guess what, he has booster, and he is still the character that has the most value just because of the fact that he can work in all Gale quests minus the ranged ones. But even then, he's not really meant to do damage. He is just meant to boost and do what needs to be done. But other than that, he's just your typical generic PvP character with Flare +2, can prevent last ditch survival, ignore brave battle invincibility, but isn't invincible himself, so he cannot counter SP units, double status elements of paralysis and drain, and yeah, nothing too crazy that I need to talk about this character. Masaki, on the other hand, wow, she's no longer number 10? Well, not in the top 10 anymore? That's crazy. That's actually crazy. It's because they haven't introduced any new NAD units into the game since Thousand Year Blower Aizen, and it's kind of dying down with all these SP characters that we're getting. But anyways, Masaki is still good. She still has a high bruiser of 80% with Guard Break, and Flurry does provide shields and boost. That being said, we can expect her resurrection in 2 years from now, maybe once we get to Core 4 of the Thousand Year Blower anime. Let's just hope that she does pick up, like, I don't know, booster with pure 50% damage, and I think that this character could make a solid comeback, but I don't think she's gonna make her way back into the top 10 spots anytime soon. Besides, we're talking about 2 years from now, but we have yet to see. But still a good auto-wear. She does have hit underground enemies as well, just that, you know, no multi-barrier, no double status elements, and no immunities, and oh, never mind, she has freeze immunity. I take back what I said, but yeah, that's basically Masaki. She's still good, just that not top 10 anymore. And then Ginjo right here, which funny enough is a mid-month character. Now, he doesn't have the most in terms of value, but I do think that he's quite good, especially with the damage to weakened enemies of plus 35%. Like, when we get our nuker for heart, he's gonna come in clutch, but even then, I do think that he's a pretty strong character because he has Frenzy +1, Guard Break, Epic of 20%, Berserker 40 with this and this. Like, he just needed 80% SP buff, and that's already good because, ooh, look at this. Create all affiliation dodges, the map-wide AoE skill of inflicting weakening, Sprinter, and he plays exactly like Artbook Ichigo, as a matter of fact. Same exact hit. So there's that. It's just that there's stronger characters that are also more valuable for heart in this list, but he is still a good one, no doubt about that. But with that being said, it's time to truly start the top 10 list. So starting at number 10, Sun. Now, the reason why I have put her at number 10 and not as an honorable mention is because even just by being a link slot link for your heart characters, this character is actually quite good if you guys really put your minds into it, because he's got decent amount of multipliers and can be used quite solidly in Captain GQ, especially melee for when you're trying to do nuke runs with Yamamoto. Like Frenzy +1, Berserker 40, full stam 20%, which is actually quite good, and a 30% melee damage in co-op quests. Outside of that, it's 10%, and she does keep at least the strong type creature's time of -12%, and also has Guard Break plus hit hidden enemies. Solid, definitely very damn solid, and her SA3 can also heal, and yeah. That being said, it is not the same type of OP charge strong attack like Safuretsu Swimsuit Isani. Matter of fact, it charges all around her, so it's the classic 900 into 1080 radius SA3, which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with that for sure. It's still beyond full screen. Like, you can definitely make some good work out of it, but it would have been better if you could aim it, because when you have control of the strong attack, I think that's where it's damn strong. And she still has a good kit too. She has a 3k length beam, and then the vortex into pushback attack like Tokinata. I think she's a good character for sure, definitely. And even then, if you don't like using this character, this is where she has most of the value, just by being a link slot potion link. And yeah, she might become an honorable mention soon, the next time I update this, but I think that she's still quite fine, honestly. And then up next at number 9 is Cien. Okay, this character is in danger of falling off pretty damn fast, and it has to pretty much do with the kit, because he's good as a character, don't get me wrong, with the fact that he has Frenzy +1, Havoc of 20%, Berserker 40, damage to burning enemies of 40, damage to lacerated enemies of +60%, and also has increased status ailment chance against mind attribute enemies. And that's all fine, That being said, he only farms super pots, and that's just about it. And sadly, you may think that this character is as good as Nelio, but that isn't the case at all, sadly. It really isn't, because he has the cross-shaped SA1 as 7th anniversary Ichigo. Terrible strong attack, and he did not need to get that. And I'm not gonna lie, I did defend the strong attack at first, but like, I am not liking it. Plus, he doesn't even have the homing vortex or the 960 into homing vortex to completely back it up with the strong attack, making it even worse. He at least does have the 3k length beam, but like, yeah. And then the 1200 radius SA3. So yeah, he's okay, he's mid, that's all I can really say. He does have the map wide AoE skill of being able to inflict burn and laceration, sharpshooter, and sprint +1. But yeah, there's already better characters that you can use over this guy any day. Like, he's not good anymore. I'm sorry. He's gonna fall off very soon. I reckon once I update this list within like 6 months from now, he's probably gonna be Thanos for sure. But we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, this is his placement. Yeah. Up next at number 8 is Swimsuit Isane, still keeping her value for sure. Like, she's great mainly in epic raids. In IC she can work as well. The only problem is that she doesn't have guard break, but like, other than that, she has a lunge, 570 radius, not the greatest, but she does have the 3k length beam with 1020 width, and then the better charge SA3 like I mentioned before. You can aim it, and it's a 1080 in front, and the skills are also still good. Like, she still has, like, what, Berserker 40, full stam 20, heart attribute character strong attack damage of 20%, and is a semi-ultimate farmer because she can farm both mind droplets and mind link slot potions. You can never go wrong with this character for sure. And the innate abilities also has extra cooldown, medic, and sprint +1. Yeah, this character aged solidly, like, for sure. For being more than a year old, yeah, she's great still, for sure. I don't think this character is falling off anytime soon, although technically speaking she is at number 8, so kind of, but like, I don't think so. She's still good. He's the one character you want to use for epic raids for sure. And then up next at number 7, Christmas Ninny. I still think that she's a good character despite her kit being the way it is. Matter of fact, when she has killer, she's obviously going to be better than Cien because of the increased status summon chance against mind attributes, soul reapers, no affiliation enemies, and can farm mind link slot potions +5 and super mind link slot potions of +5 with frenzy +2, havoc of 20%, devastation 60, and yeah, only weakening, but thankfully no IT has weakened immunity, so we're completely safe on that. Map wide AoE skill of being able to inflict weakening without doing anything, guard break, and spur +2 on the innate ability, so really good. SA1 good, 3k length beam, SA2 Curling Vortex, bad, but that's just about the only bad thing, and at the very least you don't have a bad SA1 like Cien, so that's the best way I can describe it. And then a full screen SA3, so yeah, she is kind of falling off for sure. We have gotten better farmers in the game, especially with who I placed somewhere on the list. I won't make any spoilers this time around, but like, she's still good. if you're a Nini fan, you're still gonna get some enjoyment out of her. I hope I do 5-5 her once the next Burn the Witch rerun returns, and I do plan to summon for Macy, but we'll just have to wait and see. She's still good, she's still usable, no complaints. Up next is Kaname. Kaname, his main issue is the fact that he was only given Drain, and as a matter of fact, he's been getting cucked a lot in Inheritance Trials. However, he is still quite good when he at least has Killer, even with his Drain blocked off, because he does a decent amount of damage to be able to kill the enemy mobs at 1-5-2-5. But besides that, when his Drain is blocked, it's not good, and even then, his best usage will also be in epic raids, because he is an ultimate farmer at the end of the day. Mind Droplet drop of 30%, Mind Link Slot potions, and Super Mind Link Slot potions of +5, so yeah, you cannot complain about this character. Also has Frenzy +2 with Guard Break plus hidden enemies. Heart attribute character movement speed of 30%, which is a waste. Should have been increased status element chance or more damage. And a heart attribute character strong attack damage of 20% with the innate abilities of having freeze immunity, havoc of 20%, and sprint +1. And this character plays exactly like 6th anniversary Aizen, with the only exception being the first strong attack, which is the 18% shade. If he had increased status summon chance, that SA1 would have been even better, but still, this is a good way of being able to inflict status summons with the SA1 and get the Drain procced off, but most importantly, 916 Toman Vortex. You cannot go wrong with this type of SA, and it's still quite remarkably good. Like, it's great, for sure. And then he has a full screen SA3. So, good character. He needed more status summons, and he needed this skill to be completely replaced with either more damage or something that gives a bit more usage. But still good in Inheritance Trials when his Drain isn't blocked off, and still great in epic raids. Like, he's just the better Swimsuit Isane in this kind of case in particular. At number 5, we have Spirits Are Forever With You, Yoruichi, still hanging in there as one of the best art characters that we have in the game. And the crazy thing is that she doesn't have a god kit, yet she is able to dish out so much damage. It's stupid, because look at what she has again. A Rocker Killer with Frenzy +1, Havoc of 20%, full stamina damage boost of 20% with Berserker 40, and increased status summon chance against mind attribute enemies, and status summon spiritual pressure boost of 80%. Yeah, she's going to be doing damage consistently all around her skills, which is insane. Oh, and guess what? She even has 20% stamina recovery, Marauder, and sprint +1. Cannot go wrong with that. She has some form of being able to get her health back, and she can consistently do damage. The only issue is she isn't immune to anything, so you do kind of need a flashed up around her, but honestly, this is a character meant for getting up to a close distance and being able to kill enemy mobs, and her kit is also quite good too. Like, you cannot complain. She has the 750 AoE in front, an 870 lunge. It's the same one as the 1000-year global Retsu, the speed one, and then the SA3 is full screen 1200 radius. It's a character that doesn't have a god kit, but just the skills carry the unit, which is good, honestly. I think this character slept on a bit by a good amount of people, which shouldn't be the case, because she's strong, definitely. If you're a Yoruichi fan, you're going to enjoy this character. This is still the best Yoruichi that we have in the game, no cap, easily. At number 4, yeah, this is where we placed her, Swimsuit Rengiku, and this is the ultimate farmer that is a cheat code, just like Tensa, which is crazy. The only difference is that this character has a bit of a slightly weaker kit, and doesn't have the co-op melee damage, but other than that, she's still great. She is fantastic, easily befitting of the number 4 spot, and I was thinking of putting her at number 3, but then I thought to myself, Limit Breaker quest, and that's when I kind of changed things up a bit and put her at number 4. But like, look at what she has: Frenzy +1, Berserker 60%, pure 100% damage, the ultimate farming skills for sure, Guard Break plus Pierce Iron Skin, Havoc of 20%, and Devastation 60%. Really solid set of skills, except the coin drop. That is such a waste. I'm sorry, but it's stupid. Why is it there? Why is it even a thing? That's the stupid thing. Yes, Hollow Killer, and innate abilities, 20% stamina recovery, freeze immunity, and Sprinter +1. And the kit, she's got the 750 AoE in front, just like Safu Yoruichi, and then a 3k length beam with 1020 width, and a full screen SA3. You cannot go wrong with this character, for sure. She is going to be the ultimate farmer to use. In IT, she's just going to be marvelous at 1-5. In epic raids, she's just going to be that good to use if you do not have the likes of Swimsuit Isane or Kaname. Like, she's just an all-round, very OP seasonal character, and it was about time we get ourselves an OP Rengoku, man. Like, it's been so long since the last one, which is great, honestly. Just that for content like Limit Breaker Quest, I do think that she needs to have some way of it being able to inflict status elements in order to debuff the enemy mobs and get, you know, around it a bit more safely. And that's why I'm kind of keeping characters that don't inflict status elements a bit lower on the list, with the exception of one that might make a better case in particular, which we'll get to. But besides that, very good character, honestly. She's fantastic. At number 3, 6th Anniversary Aizen. This character is now officially 2 years old, and he is still top 3 best units in the game for heart. Let that sink in. Still top 3 best units in the game after 2 years. This is how you make an anniversary character and make him age well. It's stupid. It's retarded. It's ridiculous. Like, honestly. And the only thing I would say is that he is kind of missing a bit of damage and increased status summon chance. But guess what? He makes it up with his insanely good kit and the value that this guy provides. Because, like, Frenzy plus 2 with full stamina damage boost of 20%, it's still quite strong. Not as OP as it once used to be because of better characters that have come out, but still damn strong. Has Havoc of 20%, hit underground enemies, sharpshooter, sprayer plus 1, double status elements of weakening and drain. And he's got the best kit in the game, being the 3K length beam, 960 into homing vortex, and a full screen SA3, with the innate abilities having dodge Soul Reaper damage of 50% and paralysis immunity. So still one of the best all-round characters that we have in the game, and he is still one of my favorite characters to play as. I have him at number 2 of my top 5 most used characters for a very good reason. He is able to still be good as a GQ side unit. He is able to tackle on Limit Breaker Quest despite being 2 years old. He is still doing well in Inheritance Trials, and like, this guy has not fallen off by much. Like, he hasn't. It's just the damage, but like, even then, what he does is stupid. He also has double killers of Soul Reaper and Captain. Insane value. Easily insane value. I love this character way too much, for damn sure. Anyways, at number 1 and number 2, it does vary a bit, but if I did update this list after Bruno dropped, I probably would have put him at number 2, but now it's gonna vary, so let's just say it's a bit of a semi-tie, because, yeah. At number 1 and number 2, it's pretty much Parasol Bruno and the 1000-Year Blower anime Ichigo, and getting into these characters simultaneously, they're both amazing with their own rights. That being said, Bruno does have the gauge mechanic, and once he activates the gauge mechanic, he does become pretty goddamn strong. Like, he is just busted beyond belief, albeit it's only once he gets the gauge mechanic active, because other than that, he is just a standard character with Frenzy plus 2 with Berserker of 40%. And at least you can get immediate access to it because of the fact that he has, hold on, the start gauge plus 70%. So like, all you need to do is activate 4 strong attacks and you're ready to go. You already have 100% extra damage from the gauge, and on top of that, he also does pick up an extra spiritual pressure buff of 50% when activating it, besides getting the cooldowns reduced, besides getting the heal in, and of course, what else did he have? Yeah, extra 100% Berserker and damage reduction of 20% instead of 50%. But like, yeah, is immune to every status elements, has Havoc of 20%, Debilitator of plus 5 seconds, and yeah, you cannot go wrong with this character. He just doesn't have hit underground enemies, but honestly speaking, just give him a Zeta Pill and then you're good to go. Double killers of Hollow and Espada. Innate abilities, he does have long strides, so he's a speedy boy, Marauder, and Sprint plus 2. And his kit is basically exactly the same as Ginjo and Art Book Ichigo, so Suction Vortex on the SA1, 960 in front, and then the SA3 is full screen. So he's a strong character, alright. He's definitely a strong one. But he is a bit less speedy because of the SA1, and that's just about it. Whereas with Ichigo right here, he does not have the gauge mechanic, alright? But he does have Frenzy plus 2 with 100% pure damage. And I do think that this set alone is, in my opinion, stronger than Frenzy plus 1 with 60% Berserker and 100% pure damage. Just because of the fact that Frenzy plus 2 is just going to be able to scale a lot higher in terms of damage. And with this combined, I do think that he is quite the unstoppable menace, and is the only other character that has no status elements that might make a cut through Limit Breaker Quest. Now, we're going to be getting that in 4 days from now, and I'm definitely going to be testing him out since I have Max Transcendent now. And of course, test him out between 2-5 Bruno and Ichigo. Besides, slot 3 doesn't even boost killers or melee range damage, so like, they're kind of both safe, but I do think that Bruno might perform a bit faster because of the gauge mechanic, but that is yet to be seen. Even then, he still has basically more or less the same broken skills, besides having, you know, Havoc of 20%. He also has hit underground enemies, so you don't even need to give him a Zeta Pill unlike Bruno, and also has Pierce Iron Skin, making him a godly menace for Inheritance Trials. Marauder, Shared Complete Status Immunity, and Sprinter +2. Again, this guy has no status elements, but his kit is, in my opinion, superior to Bruno's, because he has a 3k length beam on the SA1 and he has double full screen strong attacks. Double full screen strong attack hits is nothing to scoff at, because you just get in the middle of the map and you already have yourself 2 full screens to use at your disposal, and you also have the SA1, which is so goddamn powerful. It's crazy, like, honestly speaking. It's stupid. I think that this character, he's almost a year old now, and he's aged so goddamn nicely, to the point that I still use him. He's fun. He's crazy good. Still. As for who is between number 1 and number 2, honestly, it does vary from person to person. Bruno is going to be the better character to use for guild quests at the end of the day. He is going to have a lot more value in there and will also work exceptionally well in Limit Breaker quests. Whereas Ichigo, he is the best unit to use for Inheritance Trials, and for, you know, getting runs done faster. He's just going to be the better character at the end of the day. In Limit Breaker Quest, he is going to have a similar usage. He won't be able to debuff like Bruno, but I still think that his damage numbers are still going to be quite exceptionally amazing, and once again, he does have a much faster kit than Bruno in this kind of case in particular. That being said, he just isn't going to be that good for guild quests, because he needs to inflict status elements in there. There's just no other way to go about it. But maybe in the new GQ difficulty, things can change. Things can change. So we'll just have to wait and see about that, even though for like the GQs he's going to be used in 7th Anniversary Udyr is just going to be better because of the gauge mechanic and the weakening and stuff. But like, I don't know. You guys can say I'm a bit biased towards Ichigo, and I have to be honest, I am, because if it were me, and giving out my own personal opinion, I would keep Ichigo at number 1 and Bruno at number 2. But factually speaking, it's tied, and Bruno might be the number 1 character instead of Ichigo. But yeah, it does vary from person to person. But that's just the overall top 10 list. Do you guys agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section below how you guys feel about this top 10 list as a whole. Not much needed to be updated besides Rengiku and a couple characters. And of course, I needed to introduce Bruno as well, since I did not have him in my last list. But yeah, with that being said and done, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that like button, share this video with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, and hit the bell notification so that way you guys are up to date with my most recent videos. This has been your boy the Dash Smasher, and I'll see you guys on the last top 10 list, which is going to cover the technique attribute characters. So take care, lads. Peace out. Bye. Sayonara.